everybody. I know, long time no see, right? I just want to say hello, welcome back to another newsletter, another update with Mosaic and all the cool things happening with that. Before I get into it though, I would like to apologize for kind of not being present past 2 newsletters now, which is the past 2 months. There's just been a lot going on in my personal life and work life, and I don't really want to get into the specifics necessarily. Basically one wave after another of just challenges and hard times. There was just a lot going on all at once. When it was time for the newsletters to come out, I realized, oops, I forgot this month. I'm like, I'll be sure to do it next month. And then I also forgot February. So I just want to apologize for not keeping you guys up to date for the past couple of months and just letting the craziness kind of get in the way. Things seem to be mellowing out somewhat. I know I'm still late on this and everything, but I just really appreciate your guys' patience and understanding. You may also notice that the room around me is different, and that's because I'm house sitting for a very awesome friend of mine and a great supporter. She's a very sweet lady. She wants me to use the space to be able to host things as well, which I'm very, very grateful for. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're going to cover January and February, since those are the ones that you guys have missed. So we had spring launch back in January, and I was mostly present at the Mat-Su campus for that week. From what I heard, UAA's launch was pretty good. I know we had a lot of new students come in, which is very exciting. Typically you see more students in the fall just with it being a new school year. So in the spring, you don't see maybe as much come in, but I feel like we have a lot of new faces that I saw in the spring when I was able to get to Anchorage eventually. It was really cool to see just Mosaic continue to grow at that campus. So I primarily worked at the Mat-Su College, where I did some tabling and gave away some free stuff, and we also served ice cream and everything, which of course everyone loved, because how can you say no to ice cream? The fall launch so far has been better, which makes sense because you have more new students in the fall, and also just the schedule for the spring semester this year at the Mat-Su College is it's crazy. It was nice to see familiar faces from last semester and everything, but the hard part was just that people's schedules were not the same as last semester, go figure. Availability has been really challenging for students. Trying to find a time that works for everybody, especially for the amount of students that we had, I made it kind of difficult. So in terms of the Bible study that I've been hosting there, it doesn't quite look the same as it did last semester, which initially that did bother me just because I felt like I failed in some way. So I was really wrestling with that, as well as a bunch of other things that fed into it, which did not help. But I'm feeling much better about it now. We so far have only been able to meet with one student, but it has been really good for this student. He appreciated last semester that he had kind of the small group, where there's more discussion and more dialogue, but he also appreciates this semester that has been a bit more tailored to him, where he can share and open up more about the difficult things in his life and what he's working through and being more vulnerable. One of my students from the Anchorage campus has been helping me out with that. She's also my friend. We've just been meeting together with this one student, and it's been really good to see God just work in his life, work through some of these various questions that he's going through. He is just about to finish high school, so he is wrestling with some bigger life questions as what does my future look like? Who am I? It's been very fruitful to just meet with him and be able to create a space where he can feel safe in talking about the harder things. But also with that, he was very interested in meeting the guys journey group that we have in Anchorage. Since he's going to be going to UAA next year and he's going to be living in the dorms, I thought this would be a great way for them to finally get connected. So he went and met with the guys, absolutely loved it. It just totally warmed my heart hearing how much he enjoyed it. It was really nice for him to just be with some guys that can really pour into him. He's very excited about that. He's looking forward to being able to be more consistent with Mosaic here in Anchorage when he is living in the dorms. I'm very excited to see how that is going to play out. Another cool thing is we have a semester intern. That's really exciting. I can't remember if I had mentioned it back in December. So she's here and she's serving with us, and it's been great to have an extra hand and also filling the need for here at the Anchorage campus. She's been such a huge help. Really appreciate her help and just how much she loves the Lord and loves to serve people. and it's been really evident in her actions and words. She's been great, especially since I have had to take a bit of a step back with going back to school and everything, and so it's been nice to have her come in and just like kind of fill that need in our staff group. We're very happy to have her. I've just, like I said earlier, been able to host like some fun things. Like with the girls, we did a Galentine's night, kind of like what we did last year at the girls' dorm on campus, except we did it here at this house, and that was so nice. We had we had so many girls. I lost count how many were actually there. Really good time together, lots of fun. We did like a PowerPoint presentation night where you got to like speak on anything you wanted for about 5 or 10 minutes, and it was hilarious. We also just got to have some real deep conversations with each other. It was so fun, and definitely a great time for the girls, and just a lot of good connections and conversations that were happening there. We also just had our spring retreat a couple weeks ago. The weather going up was not fun. There was moments where I'm like, I can't see the road, but because we're Alaskans, the weather is not going to stop us unless like we absolutely cannot move, and we're like, nope, we're going through it. So it was really fun despite it being very cold and a bit windy up there, but it was a lot of really good conversations that also happened there. And addressing just the harder things in life, we had a guest speaker come, and his focus was a topic on anxiety. It seemed just about everybody in, especially my generation, has anxiety. There's a lot of factors into that, but if you just look at the statistics, sorry, that's my Instapot beeping. Okay. But it's unfortunate that anxiety is so prevalent now, and not many people have the right tools to be able to address anxiety. Yeah, there's just a lot of breakthroughs that weekend, and even though it was hard, just with like the heavy subjects, and there was a fair amount of spiritual warfare there, and there's still a lot of great memories were made, great conversations were happening, spiritual breakthroughs were happening. It was just a amazing time that we had. It was such a blessing to go up there and be able to be there, especially for all these students that are struggling so much with anxiety and difficult things in life. Yeah, and I'm still full swing in school and everything, which has been a fun experience trying to balance full-time school and work and life and all these different things. I'm already 2 courses down. Woo! I'm about to start my next one on Monday, so very excited for that because that one actually pertains to my major. Student life is a busy life, but it has been a blessing. I'm very excited to continue to keep progressing through this degree. Our next very exciting thing that's coming up is Beach Reach. They're leaving in just a few days. Whenever this comes out, they might be on their way or they're already there. Can't remember how many students are going on Beach Reach this year, but it's more than last year. I'm very excited to see how God is going to use these students during Beach Reach. Also, if you do not know what Beach Reach is and you would like to know more about what it is, how you can support or maybe get involved, I'll put a couple videos here. Here's one that I made as a recap for last year. And here is the website for the actual organization. A very good cause going and reaching students that are on their spring break, and typically that means going and partying, drinking, whatever at the beach. And so that's why it's called Beach Reach. They're gonna go and serve these students as well as share the gospel on the beaches there. And I think that is all I have for you. I know that was a lot. Thank you so much for bearing with me, being patient, and I hope that you enjoyed this update. Before I go, I would like to ask just a couple of prayer requests. One that is on the forefront is Beach Reach. If you'll just be praying for our students that are going and serving, one, to keep them safe and healthy, and also that just they will be empowered and strengthened by the Holy Spirit to go and reach these students that really need the gospel. We have lots of new students this year, which is awesome. And so just be praying for the new students that we do have, that they'll find community, whether that's in Mosaic or one of the other campus ministries that UAA has, and that above all that they'll find Jesus. The need for discipleship is growing because there's so many students now and there's so many that are starting to grow in their faith more, and so the need for disciplers is growing. And so yeah, just that this need will be placed on students' hearts or volunteers or whatever it may be, so that we can make sure that we're meeting with for everyone that desires to be met with. Prayer for our Matsu student that my friend and I have been meeting with at the Matsu College. He's very excited to be going to UAA in the fall, and so just be praying for him. He's working through some big life decisions and his identity, and just where he is at with the Lord, and also that his connection with the guys at UAA will be a great encouragement to him. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope that this was encouraging to you and just seeing that God is still moving in big ways at our campuses through Mosaic. All right, that's all I have for you, so I will see you guys hopefully next month. All right, bye guys.